Hello again. In this video, we will learn about a ditransitive verb. In our last video, we talked about transitive and intransitive verb. This video deals with the kind of a transitive verb that takes two objects with it. So the simple definition is the transitive verb that takes two objects is called ditransitive verb. The two objects in this sentence may be divided or labeled as direct object. Direct object mostly is a thing, and an indirect object mostly a person. This is common in English that in some sentences we use two objects, and the verb that takes two objects is called ditransitive verb. The common example of the ditransitive verb is give, send, buy, cook, tell, show, and etc. It can be determined whether the verb is transitive or ditransitive keeping in view the number of the objects it takes. Let's have a look at the examples I have made for you. The sentence number 1 is he gave. I have used here gave as a ditransitive verb. He gave her a gift. So this verb has two objects. Her, that is a person, because indirect object is always a person. So her is indirect. A gift is a thing which is a direct object. What is direct object? What is indirect object? If you want to learn more about it, please watch my video on that thing which I have already made on parts of sentences. Second example is he sent him an email. Him is indirect object and email is a direct object. Him is a person and email is the direct object, and that is thing. The third sentence has a little different construction. In these two examples, we are using indirect object first and direct object later. Person and thing. Indirect object first, direct object later, person and thing. But in this last example, I have used the direct object first and indirect object later. So she bought a bike to, please keep this point in your mind. She bought a bike to her son. Her son is indirect object, bike is a direct object. So this is also possible that you put the direct object first and indirect object later, but what you have to do extra, that you have to put preposition between the two objects. In these two examples, we have not used any preposition between the indirect object and direct object. So the basic concept is that if you are using direct object first and indirect object later, you will have to use the preposition between them. So let us have a look at the two different constructions, that how we can make two different constructions like this one and this one when we want to make a sentence that contains ditransitive verb and it also contains two objects. The ditransitive verb has two constructions, as I already told you. I have also defined here. The first one is called indirect object construction. In this construction, we use the indirect object first and direct object later. So the sentence formation is we put subject, then we use verb. Verb is a ditransitive verb, then indirect object, and then direct object. Like I is a subject, lent is a verb, ditransitive verb, Sarah is indirect subject, and my car is a direct subject. So this is the first construction, and that is more common in everyday language. The second construction is called the preposition construction. In this construction, we use the direct object first and indirect object later. So the construction is, we put subject first and then we use the verb, which is a ditransitive verb. Then we use direct object, and after the direct object you have to put preposition. That is necessary. And then we use indirect object. Like if I change or convert the same sentence in this construction, that would be I lent my car, which is a direct object, to is a preposition, Sarah is indirect object. I hope you learned all about the ditransitive verb and the two constructions that are possible with the ditransitive verb. If you have still any confusion, don't hesitate to ask. Until my next video, bye bye.